footage of him? Why would they even come out your mouth? You don't even know this man.
Right. Now speak on that though. Those rumors, I'm sure you know, being in that area. Is there any truth to them tapes?
I'm not finna stand out here and say, hell no, this shit ain't true. I don't know though.
You don't know. Okay.
But I tell you this, even from what he described, him classifying it as was off base. A little too nasty, freaky for me. Not my cup of tea. But this nigga sitting next to Adam all day. Right. I just seen a video of Adam telling another nigga, you know that little thing where people be like, hey man, I broke up with my girl. Can you help me make her jealous? Like, yeah. Then you get on the thing with the girl and be like, yeah, this who topping me off tonight. So it was a black dude. It looked like it was at a porn convention. I could be wrong, but he did Lena like that. And he asked Lena, like, can you help me make my girl jealous? And then he say, my bad.
No, you good, man.
He said, hey, this is gonna top me off tonight. Adam pops up out of nowhere over his shoulder, like, no, if she's gonna suck it, I'm gonna suck it.
Whoa.
So
fuck that.
These are the type of people Wack gets very, very, very close to. He's comfortable with. He'll be right after Adam did that. Wack is gonna be right back up there on that platform, letting Adam talk to him like a boy.
Which is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And you know, I said something crazy yesterday. I was like, I can't believe I'm about to say this. Hassan Campbell was right to expose that shit. As crazy as that sounds, because we do not agree with shit, but he fought fire with some heavier fire because he probably would have been done to him first.
He played Wack goofy, yeah. But it just show you how loose he is at the jaw muscles. Everything he knows at the tip of his tongue.
Yeah.
If you realize his history with Hassandra Campbell, which was zero, it shows you how much he's willing to tell somebody he doesn't know. Yeah. And it blew up in his face.
It's crazy. So, all right, we got Wack, right? And in the grander scheme of things, we talked about hip-hop, cops, police, and everything, people infiltrating this game to try to tear us down. We talked about the conspiracies for 7 years on this platform. Do you think he's the only one, and how deep does this shit go? I guess let me ask you this. Why? Why is Wack 100 put in this place to do it? Is this something self-inflicted where he feels the need to go in here and do it, or just somebody bigger over top staring these puppets like, you know what I mean?
Well, shout out to Deuce Sims. We learned recently not only has Wack been sexually violated since the age of 7 by his uncle.
Damn.
That's one issue that could be psychologically causing him to be having this crisis of identity, perhaps. But on a not so deep level, like I said earlier, from my perspective, Wack desperately desires or wish he had been a LA Compton gangbang rapper. And him trying to be the individual, he knew he could never be that, but to be viewed as such and be accepted as such, these are the things that he naturally did, thinking that's how he's supposed to be. So imagine a guy who's never had no respect throughout Los Angeles thinks the way you get respect is being tough. So he's never been able to be tough in person, but in the cyber world, it's my time. I can finally be tough with all these guys. I never had the courage to be tough with in person and convince the rest of the world because I know him. I'm one of them. I'm supreme amongst them. That's all it is, bro. He's an attention whore. He not fly at all. And instead of him being the biggest thing in the 818, which he probably is, but guess what? In his immediate street turf politics, he's not accepted. There's 1 in a million, because you can't never, of course, you always have somebody, but when it comes to his hood, the Pacoima Pyrus, it's 1 out of a million that fuck with him. The majority and the masses don't fuck with him. He got a whole lot of issues he got to see about just to even try to go over there and have some comfort. So he can't even be comfortable being proud where he's from, even though because they're not as well known, it's his time. Like, you guys would not be so familiar with Long Beach. Had Snoop Dogg came out and claimed LA.
That's a fact.
So he had a chance to put Pacoima on the map, but he got so much Compton, LA dick in his mouth. Pacoima is still kind of obscure to the masses. And that's where he's actually from. And they get busy out there, probably in a smaller pocket than stretched out, but they have their own scene. They got riders, kingpins, rapists, busters, snitches, all the shit he like to talk about. He got all this San Fernando Valley in his area. But he don't talk about none of that.
All right.
He infatuated and fascinated with those that live my lifestyle.
Now, what is his I know he manages the game. The game don't really co-sign him too much. How you feel about the game and their relationship?
Game don't fuck with him. He got the game by the nuts.
Yeah.
In a lot of little ways where, game has to sit back and let it appear that they cool. But he can't trust game. You better not trust game.
Yeah, I was thinking same thing.
So why does and I mean, I don't know if you know, but why does he scream what he screams so much on Pyru if they don't fuck with him like that? Why does he feel so free to even run off? Is that a part of the character?
This the question you keep asking. That it's the same answer to this.
Yeah.
Fail. He's behind the bars.
Yeah.
The protection. And then because guess what? The Pyru only means something to y'all. It don't mean nothing to us. To the real Pyru, that don't mean nothing. That shit don't mean. If you look at me, when I get on my platform, I'm on my mama. I'm not on Crip. I ain't on East Coast. I ain't on neighborhood. I ain't on nothing. I'm on my mama. And I can just be just as passionate with what I'm saying. Him being on Pyru is him trying to convince himself he's some brand of Pyru that matters and convince the world that his Pyru matters to some degree where we should acknowledge it. Don't nobody give a fuck about him being a Pyru. With your booty up, on camera, on the internet, talking sexy, late night, early morning, on motherfucking Clubhouse with your belly on the motherfucking blanket. Stupid motherfucker getting 3 fingers. Shout out Mika. Shout out J Dig.
Indeed. Let's transition out of him real quick, man, because it's been a lot going on in the world since we last talked. And one of the things is Diddy, right? And I don't want to talk about Diddy in particular. You can if you want to, but I'm just want to talk about the industry in itself. They are all that shit. What has your experience been like in the game when you win it?
Now, I wish I could be like some of these other dudes say, I seen this, seen that. I have not seen. However, being close to certain situations and being aware and hearing things, I have a belief that, the freaking is deep. The one thing I could share, at one potential time, I was contemplating hiring someone as my publicist.
Yeah.
And they recently were coming out the closet. And one of the things they shared with me that blew my mind, I don't know if it's true or not,